Welcome to the Layman Seminary. Today we're in Exodus chapter 32. Whenever I prepared this, I thought I was in Deuteronomy 32. So this is Exodus 32. Josh is in the room with me, giving me faces, so I'm glad to have him in here. Okay, Josh, you ready to do some Greek?
Always ready to do Greek.
Alright, let me show you what I have highlighted right here. We're trying to get an idea about the mood, the attitude of this passage.
Is your reds your datives?
No.
Okay.
These are all moods. Okay?
Moods, okay.
Alright, so if I remember right, your blue is your indicative mood.
Yep.
Your red is the imperative mood, and the green is participles. So what you kind of see is you got your blue going on.
Yep. When you say mood, what do you mean by that?
Mood is related to, I guess you say, portrayal or of reality or the action and stuff. It's the attitude behind things. So like the indicative mood is called the mood of reality, because it
really
portrays things as, it doesn't mean what it's saying is true, because Satan's lies are in the indicative.
Okay.
But they really happened, I mean, it's related to that idea. And then the imperative is the mood of command. The subjunctive is the mood of probability. Okay?
Okay.
So what happens is when you have your mood and your tense, those work together to form
So it could be
there's
past
other
tense,
aspects.
but in the imperative mood.
Well,
what was the first mood you were talking about?
There's indicative mood.
So it could be past tense indicative, but it also was. This is where you talked about where you can have some moods can mean that happened in the past, but also continually happening in the future.
That's more tense or aspect.
Oh, okay.
All right. So think of this. In English, you have three main types of sentences. Let me see if I remember them. You have declarative.
Yep.
Interrogative.
Yep.
And exclamatory.
It'd be interrogative, isn't that question?
No, it's actually interrogative.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's related to the word interrogate.
Okay.
So what this does, and I've done this in a previous video a little bit, is you go through and you try to see what the author's primary mood is using. Mm-hmm. And like I explained before, this is Greek observation, so we're just scratching the surface on this. And this is the Septuagint, the translation of the Old Testament. So this is, if you will, a commentary on the Hebrew. Not saying
Correct.
It's inspired and all that. I mean, I think that the Septuagint carries a lot of weight. I'll put it that way. All right. So you have your commands here, right?
So red are commands. Those are in the subjunctive? No,
imperative.
Imperative.
Yeah, just remember imperative is command. It's imperative for you to do this.
Okay.
All right. And then the indicative is the blue.
Indicative.
So largely, so far, this side and this side, we mainly got blues going on. We mainly got the indicative mood. Okay? Now what happens is, if you have the indicative mood in the future, it
will happen.
It can have an impertibile force. So it functions
use layman's terms.
Well, impertibile, the word imperative is there. So having that force, in other words, it has the force of an imperative.
Okay.
So that's an example of how tense and mood work together to form what is called aspect or action start. I can't say the German word the exact way it's to say, but you'll learn about that later on. Okay. So pretty much our main mood is the indicative mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got some imperatives. Pretty much is what we're seeing here. Okay?
All right. Yeah, lots of indicative mood.
Yep. Few imperatives. And I think this is so interesting because there's a lot of ways God can tell you to do something. But God uses variety, to tell us how to do things. Alright. So, there's that. Now, we did that. Now let's go ahead and let me switch filters real quick. I'll try to keep the dead air to a minimum. Alright, so I'm going to turn the mood filters off. Now we're going to look at tense. And I guess we're going to use, we'll use the filter I made for Bateman's for tense, so that we can kind of get an idea of what the tenses are in our passage. Okay?
Okay.
So, let me turn this back on. Alright. Josh? Okay. You got a couple things going on here. Yellow is present
Verb.
active.
Present active.
Yes.
Indicative.
Yeah, and I think your brown is still the future. Is that right?
Yes, future, middle, indicative.
Okay.
So I haven't learned about those yet, just so you know. I haven't learned about
Right.
old present.
And so your imperatives are in brackets, right?
Okay.
Is that what that says down there?
It's an imperative second person.
Yeah. Alright. And your participles are underlined. So this is indicating tense. Now this is the Bateman thing. And so we can get a little bit more idea as far as to tense right here. What's going on. I actually don't like that filter. I mean, I like it, but not for this. Hold on, let me switch. If they get bored, they can fast forward, right? Alright, let's see. Okay, Josh, here's the verbs you're responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
Blacks. Alright. So far you've learned you learned the present, the future, the imperfect, the aorist. You haven't learned the perfect yet.
Not the pluperfect, yeah.
Or the perfect, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I believe that's next. This coming.
Those are purple. Alright. So we get an idea of what's going on here. The green is what we have going on there. I think that's the aorist. Is that right? Look down there.
It's in the aorist, yes.
Okay. Aorist is simple past, which we kind of, as I've been studying the Septuagint and Exodus, I've noticed that the aorist is used a lot, because it's narrative.
It is talking about the past.
Yeah, simple past. All right. So blue are your present tense, yellow are your future. So we get an idea of what's going on here. A few perfects. Okay.
What's the green again?
Green or aorist.
Aorist. Okay. Past tense.
The blue is present tense. So you have a lot more present tense things going on here in the present tense. But still, it looks like the dominant color. Had I studied the right chapter, I would have been able to give you the statistics on this. Because Logos has what's called the correspondence tool.
Right.
Concordance tool, and I'll show you my statistics from Deuteronomy 32, and so you get an idea of what we have going on here. Okay. Alright, so Josh, look up here. Basically, and see, I put 32, but anyway, things Josh needs to internalize. I mean, you already got this stuff, right? I mean, you went through the class, but these are the things that you've already been exposed to. The present, the future, the imperfect, the aorist, and they're all active indicative. You haven't learned any middle passive yet. I think you're fixing to learn those. and so different moods. And you've also learned the nouns and the adjectives that are in the second and first declension.
Yeah.
Prepositions and personal pronouns. And I'm going to focus on the imperative, but see this right here, the Greek moods of the chapter? This is Deuteronomy 32, not Exodus.
Right.
But as you can see, this is 90 indicative moods, 19 imperative moods, 19 participles, 6 infinitives, 4 subjunctives. And I did the same thing with the tense. 67 aorist, 39 future, 23 present, and then the same thing with the voice. So you see the active voice is primary being used. Mm-hmm. Remember, this is first year Greek. I mean, these different things can have different aspects going on, but it just gets you an idea. Third person 80 times, and so I ran through that. Okay?
Uh-huh.
We may come back to this, because I set this lesson up to do the imperative, because that's what we were first hit with in Deuteronomy 32. And we're still dealing with that in our passage, but we may come back to it. Well, get out the way. Okay. Go all the way back to 31. Oh, went too far. I wish I could figure out how to make it extend the screen so that I could have both. Alright, I'm going to turn the filters off. So that means it's up to your and my observation powers combined. You're reading it in English, Josh? That's one thing I wanted to do. Hold on for a second. I have it in read mode. I don't know why. Okay. What I was going to do is I was going to read it in English and then go and talk about it, but I don't have it set up where I need it to be. So, alright. So, let's... Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, read the first line to the comma, wherever the comma's at.
Kai, Iduan, Ha, Laos, Oti, Arhati, Ke Rion, is that an N? Before
yes.
Yeah, that's an N. Wait, no, not the... No.
Ke Kronikan.
Is it a K? Okay,
yeah.
It's a K. K Rion Iken. Moses. Moses. Katabenai. And to Orus. Ektu. Oh, it's X.
Horus.
Sorry. Those look like really weird ends. I don't know why.
Alright, so what's the first thing we do?
Find the verb.
Okay, where's the verb?
Well, there's not a present active indicative verb in there.
Alright.
So, I think it's iduan. Iduan? Is it iduan?
Well, that's a participle.
That's a participle.
And that is actually a present active participle. See it at the bottom?
Yep, it is a present active participle.
Okay. So you got a participle. You got a verb anywhere?
We'll try that Kiarui said.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect.
It is a perfect.
Because you see the reduplication? The repeating at the beginning?
K.
And then when you have a K in the word,
yeah,
a lot of times it
yeah.
indicates the perfect.
Huh.
Okay. You see any others? This with the "nigh" ending makes me think that's an infinitive. Is it?
It is, yeah.
Alright.
It's an aorist active indicative of aorist.
Is it infinitive?
It's a verb. It is an infinitive, yeah. It's aorist active infinitive.
Okay. Because there's a difference between indicative and infinitive.
Sorry.
That's alright. Okay. So, we got 3 verbs, right? And one where the comma is right there. So, alright, so what's the next thing you do? Well, one's a participle.
So we have truly have 2 verbs.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
Alright.
Sometimes a participle will function as a verb.
I'll find the subject.
Okay. Where's your subject?
It's Moses. Moses.
Why do you say that's the subject?
Well, it could be either no. So there's laos.
Remember this: when you got more than one verb right here. I mean, this is just a general rule. May not be right, but deal with what's before there.
Sure.
All right. So look for your subject before this verb, especially in the Hebrew, because a lot of times the Septuagint keeps the order of the Hebrew.
Okay.
And it doesn't jump around as much as the Greek.
Gotcha.
All right?
So it'd be laos.
Yeah. How do you know that this is a candidate for the subject?
Because of the masculine ending.
Right.
Os. O-S.
Or.
Also the definite article.
Yes.
The ha.
Good. We'll make it yellow. All right. You know what Laos is? The way I remember this word is the Laotians. Okay?
All right.
And this is the word for people. So the people. All right. So this is the word. This word means seeing. Okay? Means
sing?
Seeing.
Seeing, okay.
Yeah. And seeing, or maybe beholding, and seeing.
So the people saw, or were seeing, or saw. Because isn't that past?
Well, this is the thing. If it's a participle, you have to ask what kind of participle it is.
I don't know what participle.
I know. So.
No, not just in Greek. I don't understand the English language.
Your ing words. Let's just keep it simple at this point.
Okay.
All right. Now the thing is that I would just read it like this for right now. And seeing and beholding.
Mm-hmm. The people.
The people, yes. And then you have hadi, which is that or because. And what's this word here? Chronian.
I don't know.
Sounds like a word for time, but what is it?
It's to spend time, tarry, linger, spend time.
Chronos, the word for time.
Okay.
All right. And seeing the people that
spending time,
or this having spent time,
or having spent
it's
time.
having tarried, yeah.
Moses.
Okay. Yes. So the people that. So this right here.
Tarried.
Yeah, that tarried. So who's tarrying right there?
Well, it would imply the people, but that's not true.
Right. So this would be and the people seeing, as you were saying earlier, probably something like that. That Moses
tarried.
And this is kata benai, which is like coming down.
How do you hover over the word? We can see it.
To come down.
Yep.
All right.
To step down, come down, go down.
Yeah. So the people seeing that Moses
tarried
was taking his time
coming down.
Yeah. To come down.
Ek is not, no.
So this is probably, ek is from or out of, but this word actually has a preposition in it.
Oh, kata.
Yeah, right. And so it means to come down. And so come down from you know what that word is?
Orus?
Orus.
Mountain?
Yes, it is mountain. What? Did you know that, or did you guess that based on context?
I guessed it based on context.
Well, good guess. All right, what case is it?
Genitive. To.
It looks like a genitive, don't it?
Yeah, looks like a genitive to me. Ooh, that genitive.
That's oos.
Oh, so then it's accusative.
Well, this is genitive, right? Ek 2.
Well, ek is not.
The 2 is going with this.
Right.
That ending looks like an accusative, right? But because of this article, we know it's a genitive. So let's check. Is it a genitive? Well, where'd the mouse go? Is it a genitive?
It is a genitive, yeah.
Alright, great.
I was right.
Sure you were. Yeah, because of this. If it wasn't for that, we would have been in trouble.
Yep.
Because we would have said, we possibly could have said accusative. Where'd the mouse go?
Down at the bottom. You're moving all over the place.
I don't see it. Alright.
Alright, there you go.
I was going to highlight this also. Okay. Next line. And Moses is undeclinable, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's a noun, but it's a.
So we're taking it as a proper name, probably in the nominative. And the people seeing that Moses
delayed or tarried,
having tarried to come down. So this is probably what's called a complementary infinitive. It's completing the thought of this. Because you can't just say tarried. What are you tarrying about? What are you taking your sweet time about? You know?
Yep.
And so this explains. He hadn't came down yet.
So sueneste ha laus epi auron kai legusin auto anastethi kai poeneson hemin theus. Yep, and then kai.
Okay.
So we know legosin is a present active indicative verb, right there, legosin.
Yep.
We said.
You know, just making all the verbs and
We
verbals
speak.
red.
Right.
All right.
Suisten is another verb. Suisten,
Where's it at?
verb beginning of, right after or.
If that's a verb, tell me what kind it is, and tell me what tense is.
Well,
if it's a verb,
it's gonna be the same tense.
do you know that word?
I think it's. So
Does that word familiar
it's
from
I
your vocabulary?
believe it's an aorist. It's
Okay.
gonna be aorist.
Is it familiar from your vocabulary?
No.
So you're guessing to an extent, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm looking at the ending.
Okay,
I believe
good.
It's an aorist ending.
I think I may be wrong. I think it's the word understanding or related to it. I may be wrong. Let's see. What is it?
To combine. That's what it means. To combine.
To combine, but what is
It is
it?
a verb, aorist, active, indicative, third
Okay.
person singular.
All right. So it's a aorist tense.
It is aorist tense. but
Now,
it's a
what
verb.
makes you think it's aorist?
Because of the te at the end.
Give me your paradigm. Explain.
I don't remember it all. I do remember te as being
What
the
kind of
last-
aorist?
it's so you have imperfect aorist and then you have second aorist. It's just regular
It's
aorist.
not imperfect aorist. Imperfect is separate from aorist.
That's right. I was going with that in my head.
Oh, okay.
Imperfect, you have aorist and you have second aorist. It's just aorist, I think. But it could be second aorist because of the este. The S, the sigma.
Well, what is the lexical form of the word? Can you see it?
No, I can't.
All right.
Look at your screen.
I have to look on here. I mean, you got it right, but we need to know why you got it right. All right. So. Aorist active indicative, third person singular, soon stimming. So this is one of those me verbs, you know. Rather you know, you have
me?
a me is a me verb.
But it's not a verb I'm familiar with yet.
Right.
Not a me verb I'm familiar with.
Yeah, soustemi. It means to combine.
Mm-hmm.
So, soon is a preposition, means a lot of times with, like synergy. So with.
So it's a compound verb?
It looks like it because the word for stemi means, if this is the same word, means stand. So stand with. So whenever you combine something, so yeah, that's what I would say.
All right.
But okay, so you're saying it's Eris. They're saying it's Eris, so that's great. But the ending is what's throwing me off. But all right. You remembered something I forgot. That's good. That's good. Put that pressure on me. All right.
You need to go back.
Second.
Yeah. Okay. Now click over the main screen. Now go back a slide. There we go.
All right.
So yeah, so you didn't mark it. So stays is a verb.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And remember what I said. A lot of times in the Septuagint, the verbs are at the beginning of the sentence too. So where's our subject?
Well, you got halos. This is more. There's one.
Where?
Halos.
Okay, that's the subject.
That's the.
It's a nominative.
It's a nominative in the nominative case.
All right.
AP.
What is this?
Aaron. That's Aaron.
Yeah, it's a name.
It's a name.
So we're going to assume it's indeclinable?
It is.
Okay. So epi with something.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's try to make... Now we have a chi. So let's try to deal with everything before the chi.
And the people said to Aaron.
Well, I don't see the... Okay, there is said...
No. So what's Zeus combined with? That's what Zeus saying? Zeus
Combined.
Combined. So the people combined together.
Okay.
So the people got together.
United, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And met and with Aaron. AP. It's a preposition.
With Aaron.
With Aaron.
And said.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is that they came together and they met with Aaron. They had a meeting. They're like, "Hey, let's all get together and have a meeting. Let's have a talk."
They ganged up on him.
Yeah. So all the people.
Yeah.
Came.
All right.
It's
So
not now.
they're the next standing.
Okay, I don't need to get off too far off track here before we move on, but I highly doubt, because there was millions of people at this point, right? Of Jews.
Possibly, yeah.
At least maybe a million or two.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt all million showed up outside wherever Aaron was staying, whether it's tent or the temple, and was like, "Hey."
They're on the mountain. They're around the mountain.
They're around the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way that a million people could. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the tribal leaders got together.
Well,
with them
there is their representation concept, but I mean, where else are these people at? They're living in booths during the time of their wilderness wanderings, you know.
This is true. I guess they got nothing better to do.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, we're
not like they're building.
They're actually going to get in way more trouble, you know. So.
All right. So altoi was that dative?
Yes, it is a dative. Good.
It's referencing back. This is a pronoun. It's referencing back to Aaron.
Okay. And said to him. So you're saying this is Aaron.
And said to him,
okay.
Anastoi. That looks like a.
This is an imperative.
I don't know what those are.
Okay. Well, we're going to look at them in a minute.
Okay.
Anastati.
So why don't you hover your mouse over that so I can see it with you?
It basically means like arise,
so
right?
It's a verb.
Yes, it's a verb. It's imperative.
Okay.
Imperatives are verbs.
Okay.
It should be, what is it, aorist imperative?
Yeah, it's aorist active imperative.
All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to cut away, and we're going to talk about the imperative for us. Now, you're not going to deal with the actual imperative for a long time.
Right.
You won't deal with probably won't touch it to the second semester. But because we're in so much Old Testament stuff, we have to deal with it, you know.
Okay.
So, but you'll see a lot of things that are familiar. Now we're gonna start with the present active imperative. All right, and so what I just want you to do is I want you to describe what you see.
Okay. So you have lue, which is singular. You loose.
Right. And what is now? This is what I want you to see. You don't have a first person because whenever you're commanding someone else, right?
Ah, yeah,
so you don't have a first person. So this is second singular and plural, and this is third singular and plural.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would probably throw you off because if you're looking at the paradigm, but just remember that with a command
has to come from somebody.
Yeah.
So then you have luete, which is plural. Y'all loose.
Mm-hmm.
So you specifically loose. You group as a group specifically loose. Then you have lueto.
Don't worry about these verbs on the outside. They were from Deuteronomy 32.
Roger.
So,
which is singular. So let him loose. So okay.
Now what does this look like right here?
That still looks like it's the same ending as the present active.
It looks exactly the same. That one thing when I was teaching about the indicative is that the imperative looks exactly the same. The second person plural looks exactly the same as the second indicative. So a lot of times context determines how it's being used.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then you have lueto-san, which is plural. Let them loose.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now that looks like an aorist, don't it?
It
The
is.
sign ending? Yeah. So you got to think in your mind the toe. The toe is the indicator,
Okay.
at least there and there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And your connecting vowel is an E all the way through. Whereas in the indicative it was O E O O O E E O E O all the way down. All right, so let's look at the middle real quick.
You have luo.
Lu.
Singular. You will loose yourself. Lueste. Y'all loose. Then loose yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Luesteo. Let him loose himself. Then you have luesteo san. Let them loose themselves.
Okay. You're going to learn your middle passive endings next week. But basically it's my side tie, metha, steth, untie. So your steth ending is the same. So just like you had the plural that's the same, the ending is the same there. Okay? So you can remember just that te and that, both of those are dentals, and they might make a conceptual link there.
Alright.
Luisto. Alright. So you're just going to have to remember that. Let him loose. Stow is that. And then you have the son thing once again, right?
Yeah.
But you have this stow thing right here. So in the middle imperative, the steth and the stow are an indication of that. Huh?
I got a blow my nose.
Okay.
So let me step out for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
So just keep talking.
It's fall time, so allergies and stuff. But Josh, I got paper towels in there. I'm a janitor, remember? All right. So basically, what you have here is that whenever you're thinking about the middle, you ever heard the word stow? Like someone got in a fight, and you say, "Man, that dude just stole that dude in the face." You ever heard that word? I have to wait till he comes in here so I can hear over the air conditioner.
No, I'm not.
You never? Okay. Well, it is a urban word. I'll put it that way. But think of it like this. And I'm not saying the middle always acts this way, but middle notice is doing something to yourself. Like if this helps, you better loose yourself the moment you want. No, that's loose. That ain't loose.
Right.
That was my Eminem reference. But
Yeah.
anyway, so you're doing something to yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if you imagine stow as if you're hitting somebody, like that dude just stole that dude in the face. That helps you imagine you're stealing yourself, hitting yourself.
Okay.
You know, you're doing something to yourself. Okay. little mnemonic device to my help with that. And I'm pretty sure no one's ever thought of that one.
Right.
All right, but you can see, let them loose themselves. Okay.
Right.
So now we're going to the passive. Now tell me what you notice here with the passive.
Looks exactly like the.
Exactly. That's why sometimes you'll come across verbs and they'll say middle passive. And so context indicates that, and also what goes with it. Okay? So, but look how it's translated. Instead of the self, you know, because you're not doing the middle voice, passive, you're receiving it. So you're being loosed, you know? Okay. So we're going to go into the aorist. Well, something's happening here. Thou shalt let me scroll. It's not letting me scroll. Okay, I can use my pad. Alright, so let's look at the aorist imperative real quick. Lusan.
Sorry. Lusan, Lusate, Lusato, Lusatosan.
Does that look like an aorist to you? That
Yeah,
sa ending?
Yeah.
The only thing is it doesn't have an augment. It doesn't have the E in the beginning. Or whatever vowel it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you still got the toe thing going on. You still got the te thing, but you got the sa going on. And when you see that, you might think, oh, that's a future. But, you know. Okay. Oh, this is not good. Maybe I can do it like this. Ah! Touchscreen. Go ahead.
You have Lusai.
Okay.
Lusaste. Lusaste. Lusasto. Lusastosan.
Yeah. So pretty much same thing going on right there.
Loose yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, lose yourself. So sto, but you have sa. Sa is letting you know it's aorist.
Yeah.
So when you have that going on there, all right. Now let's look at the passive, and I want you to focus in on this because I think this is what we have for our answer.
Luthatai.
Luthate.
Luthate. Luthato. Luthatoson.
Okay.
Loose a toson.
Lusatoson. Yeah. Let them be loose. Okay.
Yeah, let them be loose, huh?
All right. I think this is ours.
It is an imperative. It is aorist, but I can't remember if it's passive.
Well. You know, computers doing weird things. Okay. If anybody hears any unnecessary thumping, that's Josh. I don't think they can hear it after all the other noise.
You need to go up one or go back one. There you go. So anastatai. It said Tathy.
Tathy?
Tathy. Yeah.
Tathy. Okay. So that's second.
Anastathi.
And the word means, what's it mean? Arise?
Okay,
Get
be
up?
Anastathi. Anastathi? Or it'd be Anastathi.
It means rise up.
Rise up.
Anastasia, you know?
Oh.
But your preposition, stasis, I think that's the word for stand, or stithemi, for stand. So stand up, rise up. Okay?
So the people, so we go back to translating it. So the people met or got together with Aaron and said to him, well, you have almost two verbs. You have the command. So the command.
Well, you already dealt with that.
Right.
It said to him.
Right. It said to him, rise up.
Rise up. And what's that look like? Say it out loud.
Poineson.
Poieson.
Well, that sounds like pornography.
Well, that's true, but it's the pornography word is not a verb.
Oh. That'd be a noun?
That's panero.
Oh, panero.
But yeah, it's a noun.
Poinson.
Have you learned poieo yet? Okay, poieo means to do or to make.
Okay.
And this is an imperative because of the ending, the son ending.
Okay.
All right.
So,
It's actually the on ending.
So stand up, for rise up and make. So get up and make for us. So the hey me, that's a pronoun. Back to.
Yeah, for us. Who's the us?
That's Laos, the people.
Okay.
Theus. So, that's an accusative, right?
Yes, it is.
And so it's an indirect. That's a direct object.
Mm-hmm.
Make for us. Rise up and make us God.
Yep.
So make us a God.
So who's commanding who here?
So the people are commanding Aaron.
Yeah. Pretty deep. Okay.
And then it's hoi, but there is that a. Did they drop off anything off of oi?
That's hoi. Just spell. I mean, say it out loud.
Hoi, but I'm just saying like, it'd be
Hoi is your definite article.
okay, but I can't remember if they dropped anything off because of because there'd have to be a vowel next to it. No, okay, so hoi, pro, por.
This is pra, not pro, but it's where we get the word pro from.
Por, usanatai. Por,
usantai.
Unsantai. That's a tongue twister.
Por usantai.
Por usantai. Usantai. Por usantai. Hemon. So there's the pronoun, whom I know we got it, we're trying to find.
Yeah, it's a pronoun, you're right. What case is that pronoun?
That is, hold on. It's from ego, so.
No, don't think of it, this is not from ego. Well.
It's plural.
Yeah.
Ego is.
Case. Okay. Alright.
It's plural.
Yeah.
There's only singular and plural. He didn't give us masculine and feminine.
Can I have a case? A case. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. What is this?
So you own it. It's genitive.
Good. I knew you would get it if you just knew what I was asking for. Alright.
But I don't know what this proper sentence is.
Well, what is this?
Oh, it's plural. It's plural masculine nominative.
Alright, start putting it nominative.
So case, gender, and then
case,
plural,
gender,
or
and
number. Case,
yes.
gender, number. So case, nominative.
Mm-hmm.
Gender, masculine.
Okay.
Singular and plural.
Yes.
So it's nominative.
Hoi. But notice it has an accent right there.
Hoi!
Well, this may be an indication that this is a relative pronoun. Look down there and see what it says.
It says relative, nominative, plural, masculine.
Right. So hoi is your definite article, but when the accent is there, that shows us a relative pronoun. Okay?
A relative pronoun.
Have you ever heard this word perulo?
No.
Peruomai, I think is where it comes from, but it means to come, if I remember right. And so with this, to, I think this is those who or who had been coming against him or coming toward us. Let's see. What's
Hover
it say?
over pro. Yeah.
What's it say?
It says to go before, advance.
Mm-hmm.
To go before, advance.
Right.
So go back to oi again, so I can see.
That's who.
So who?
Your options are who, which, that.
Who will go before? So
Who is the who referring to?
the God before it.
Yes. Make for us gods.
Or yeah. Who will go before us.
Or if this is viewed as not personal, this would be that. See what I'm saying?
True.
Or which. So
Okay,
it depends on that. But check out how similar this is. You were talking about earlier about Israel wanting a king. Why did they want a king?
Because they wanted to look like the people around them.
And specifically, though, you're absolutely right. But what did it say in the text? Remember?
You'll be a kingdom of priests of me.
They wanted the king to go out before them. I don't know if it's the same word or same, but it seems like a similar concept.
Sure.
And so, in other words, they wanted a God that would advance before them. They wanted a symbol, you know, a symbol of hope, a symbol of something.
Yep.
An excuse for their carnality and all this. Because Moses is taking too long. It's like, man, we're not going to wait on God anymore.
Yep.
We're going to make our own God.
Yep.
You know? Okay.
So how does, just, I'm still kind of working on the whole pronouns like Hamon. Yeah, it's Hamon. So in that case, who will go before us? So in that case,
who's the us?
Us is definitely referring to Laos. Halaos.
Okay, so even though the gender is not the same, even though the number's not the same, this is a collective noun, right? Laos can mean people.
Yeah.
And so because it's people plural, it works there. What's this? What case is that?
That's amen.
Okay,
And
what case is it?
Genitive?
No, look at it.
No, dative, I'm sorry.
Yes, dative.
I'm sorry, dative.
Okay, good. Alright.
So Hagar, 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Ha, in that case, is that acting as the pronoun?
Maybe, but it's the definite article. It doesn't have the accent, so I would say it's a definite article.
So Hagar, Moses. So for Moses?
For the Moses?
For the Moses?
For Moses. Now notice, I could be wrong about this, alright? But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the article in Greek. Notice there's no article here, right? But there is an article here. If this article goes with Moses, this is what's called an anaphoric article. Anaphoric means to point back. So the reason this article shows up here is because it's not showed there. And it's letting you know that it's tying those two together.
Okay.
Cataphoric means to point forward, and it would be pointing forward. But anyway, I don't know if that's right, but if we were to assume that Moses goes with that, alright, let's see what's next.
Well, utos.
Okay.
Is a different word for self, but...
yeah, this is, autos is self. This is a demonstrative pronoun.
Demonstrative pronoun?
Yeah, this and these.
Okay.
Alright? Okay. I think it's this.
Okay. So anthropos. Anthropos. Man.
Yes.
So right there. So these men. So we find...
Or this man.
This man. No, it's anthropos.
What is this word here?
Plural.
No, what is it? English.
It's this or... Yes,
okay,
this.
And how many men?
I think it's... Well, it's not anthropo.
It's anthropos. Give me case, give me gender, and give me number.
Nominative, masculine, plural.
No, it's singular.
Is it singular?
Watch your definite article.
Oh, that's right.
Ta, and then it would have been that. If it was plural, it would be oi.
Yeah, so I just said.
Okay.
I remembered that.
Alright.
So man,
Well, that's why we're doing this, because you're going through this stuff so fast in class. The only way you can internalize it is we do it outside class.
Right. So the man.
The man.
So every time I hear people say cry about the government, I'll be like, anthropos? The man? So I should talk about the government in Greek on my Facebook. Don't worry, it just went back. So Hagar Moses utos anthropos. So for Moses, the men.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
I'm assuming that we got a question going on here, and I don't know if that's right. or it would probably be something like this. As for Moses, where is this man? You know?
Oh.
Or this man.
Yeah.
But you got to add the question in. I don't know if that's right, but as for Moses, as for Moses, this man.
Yeah.
Or.
But there's more to the sentence. I mean, the comma's really just, you know.
Well, the comma's there for a reason. It helps.
Yeah. So it's gonna
clarify.
Right.
So.
And then you have Haas, X.
What did I tell you this accent means?
That's a relative pronoun.
Okay. Yes. Haas is a relative pronoun.
Haas. No, it's just Os. It's not Haas.
That's Haas.
You're right.
Rough
Yeah,
breather.
the rough breather. Sorry. Haas Exegetical. Humas. It's third person plural. Ex Iguptu. So Hamas that's a pronoun. So is Os apparently. Hos.
Okay, it's a relative pronoun, but.
So you got two pronouns.
Well, let's give me the case. Give me it in proper order.
Case. It's accusative.
Okay.
Feminine. Plural.
Wow.
I believe.
Let's see how well you did.
It's either feminine. No.
It is accusative.
It's not feminine. It's just accusative and plural.
Well, let's look.
Yep. Personal, first person, accusative, plural.
Good.
But it's not. There's no gender to that tied to that.
All right.
So yeah.
What color have I been making accusatives?
Purple. You've been making them purple.
No.
Oh, accusatives?
No, accusatives are orange. All right. But how is that a verb, Josh? I know you just finished a class on pronouns, so you're primed for pronouns. But we got to keep our order of translation here.
Exegetical.
It sounds like baby talk, huh?
Oh, what did you do?
Whoa!
Where are you going?
Oh, that opened up the badag.
Yeah, well, we don't want to go to the badag. We want to stay in our lesson. And we got more stuff opened up. Close all this stuff out. Hurry up.
All right, hold on.
Dude, it's 10:43.
That's all right. We're
Just
gonna.
let you know.
All right. Thank you.
And we've only made it through 2 sentences.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe when you get faster at translating.
Hey now.
All right. Show reading view. Okay, we should be back.
In 3, 2, 1. Boo! Oh, look at that! Time beautifully.
Yeah. All right. Oh.
Quit messing with it. Right there.
Okay. So you said this is a verb.
Yes, it is. And it is aorist act. Charlie?
I'm not doing it.
You are doing something.
It's just being.
You're touching the computer.
It's being
You're doing
oversensitive. Okay.
Can you hover back over the word?
Wait, I'm going to tell you what I think it is. Okay, I think it's from ago, which means lead out, right?
Okay.
X, there's your
Oh,
preposition.
that's why it's aorist, because the E is in front of it. The end, the N is aorist third person singular, or it could be third person plural.
But actually, you're thinking, but there's more to it. X is your word ek, your preposition.
Correct.
Okay? See this eta
But that's
right
how
here?
we know that's how we know it's aorist is the ek is the E in the
Yeah.
eta in front of it.
Do you see this eta here?
Yeah.
What did this eta used to be?
I don't remember.
It was an alpha. That's the ending. The E is not what. So this is not the augment. This is the preposition. So sometimes when you have a word that has a preposition attached to it, you have to look after the preposition to see if there's an augment going on there. So like,
it's a verb. It's aorist, active, indicative, third person singular.
right.
Like I said.
Okay, that's great. But you made a reference to the E.
Because that changes. When the aorist, what we learned
Yes.
was that the prefix,
The augment, yes.
it's called a prefix,
Yeah, that too.
would be the eta.
Okay. The lexical form of the word is ago.
Sure.
Alpha. Am I right? Look.
I can't see it.
Neither can I. I'm assuming it's
Strong. There's out, lead out,
ago. I'm believing is the root.
bring out, lead out.
The root is ago. Now X is a preposition. Well, whenever you add to that, remember the rule about the alpha lengthens. Whenever you put an augment on, sometimes to eta.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I'll show that to you later. And so I think that's what happened there. But all right. So anything else?
Well, X. What's X? X is.
X is ek. Ek and X.
Oh, it's just from.
Same thing. From or out of.
From or out of.
You know what Aguptu is?
Goop to.
This is Egypt.
Goop to.
Like, it sounds like YouTube. Aguptu.
Okay.
So as for Moses, this man who led us out of Egypt,
Yep. Not.
oida min, this is, even though this is a perfect tense, it's used like a present. So we know not.
Yep. We do not know.
Where.
Can you go again?
Or what
So
has
there's
happened
your,
to him.
There's your Gagon and then.
Yeah,
Gagon
this
and-
is from,
But it's.
Genomai.
Very
But this is a perfect also. So
Very
what
close
has
to the-
come of him?
Okay, yeah, because Altoy is dated and it's. Okay.
Alright?
Stinking Jew.
So they're saying, man, so let's get some application here. Alright? Moses is taking his sweet time, right?
Well, it could be that, or God has a lot to say to him.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole point. It's God's timing.
Yes.
They're focusing on Moses. Like, man, Moses is taking too long.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Why are you focused on Moses? If Moses is delayed, it's not because he's
just hanging out there up there with God.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to go back down.
if God didn't want him there, he could have beamed him down. You know, I mean.
Yep.
So we can draw a principle from that. This relates to God's timing, right?
Mm-hmm.
God's timing and God's way. Going back to what the temple, the paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So God's timing and God's way. So, and what happens whenever a person does not wait on God's timing and God's way?
They make poor choices.
Right. They start coming up with ways themselves.
Yeah.
Ways of worship, ways of advancing.
Yep.
All that type of stuff going on there. All right. And then, but what's interesting about it is they don't respect Moses as a leader.
Not at all.
And that's what's so difficult is because, okay, you
But
just came out of slavery underneath Pharaoh who thought he was God. Right? And then here you
But
are.
they're immature. I mean, they're
immature.
literally like little children.
So they have to learn authority
They really
orientation.
I mean, you were surrounded by a culture of paganism for 400 years.
Right.
I mean, their 12 brothers, Joseph and his 12 brothers, they are long dead. And
so we would kind of qualify our principle. We might say something like this, that
shortly after,
often, rather than waiting on God's timing and God's way, the baggage that we bring from our culture and our immaturity can cause us to jump ahead of God.
Absolutely.
To come up with ways and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this question.
All right.
At this point,
I mean, because
are the Jews in that camp saved or unsaved?
my position is
Can I give you mine first?
Okay.
Before you say answer. I think they're saved. Simply because they trusted that God would lead them out.
Okay.
I mean, if they didn't trust it, they would have stayed in Egypt.
Well,
The ones that didn't want to leave. But I guess more or less they were getting kicked out because the Egyptians were like handing all their stuff like, we don't want you here anymore. Got it. Whoever your God is like completely making my life miserable. I don't even want you as my neighbor. You know? But so I see them as saved, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's my position is they're saved as well. If they're not saved, the author of Exodus is writing as if they are. In other words, it's portraying
A general group as a whole, not individuals. It's portraying a nation, not a specific.
Well, you have a motif. I mean, first thing is they're not thinking about salvation from hell. You know?
No,
that was
salvation from Egypt.
Yeah, right. I mean, so I'm not saying they weren't. They got saved from hell, but that wasn't their main focus. I think we're too hell focused nowadays in our own teachings and stuff a lot of times. But basically, I think that they were saved even before they put the blood over the door.
Okay.
That's my view. Because like in Exodus chapter 4, I think it is, it said they fell down and worshipped. You know, and so now the people that don't want to recognize the possibility of immaturity and what a person could do in their immaturity would say there's no way these people could be saved. They're worshiping calves, which shows that they weren't saved at all. You know, that whole idea there. But the point is that when you take it at a principle level, you recognize this. How often do we, because of time constraints, because of cultural constraints or whatever, we come up with our own ways of doing things. We come up with our own plans, our own suggestions, and it gets us in a bigger mess.
Yep.
And we forget about the leadership that God's given us.
Yep.
God's given us leadership and direction in our life. You know, through our church, through His Word, and things like that. So, all right. Well, you have any closing statements?
No. I mean, it's, no.
Okay. Did it help you to get in the text a little bit in the Greek?
Yeah, I'm still struggling understanding whenever you see like humas or humon or autoi, or, you know, you see these pronouns, right?
Uh-huh.
How to recognize how they
The
go.
referent, the antecedent?
Yeah, or like how we know it says.
Well, if we didn't have a collective noun here.
No, I guess I just mean like in the translation.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, like how we know that this is, they said to him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, this is the dative, so to him. That's what the word means.
Correct. I'm still struggling. That's what
Okay. All right. We'll work on it. You know. But all right. Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for attending and putting up with us. And we would like for you to like, subscribe, share, and let us know what you think. God bless.